Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And this afternoon I watched a movie which I hadn't really heard about until maybe like a few weeks ago, and I thought I should try and watch this. This is from 2019. It's a cop crime drama, and it's called 21 Bridges. It stars the late Chadwick Boseman, which is one of the main reasons why I wanted to watch it, but he's also got a good supporting cast around him, consisting of Sienna Miller, Stephen James, Keith David, Taylor Kitsch, and the amazing J.K. Simmons. So, as we know, um, you know, uh, last year Chadwick Boseman did die. He was sick of cancer, and of course, Black Panther is no more. But yeah, there's a few movies of his that I do want to watch. One, after reading a little bit about this movie, I thought I should definitely watch it. Like I said, it's from 2019, and basically Andre Davis, he is a police detective, a very successful NYPD police detective. His father was a cop as well, killed in the line of duty after saving, um, after killing a couple of criminals. He was unfortunately shot dead, and the beginning of the movie do see the funeral of his dad in the church. Many years later, the boy, he was what, 12 years, 13 years old at the time, and then he becomes a cop himself. So he gets a name as being a little aggressive and being a cop killer, a killer of cop killers. That's the kind of name that he actually gets, which sees him get into a little bit of trouble with the IRS. However, the rest of the movie is all set towards one night. Two small-time criminals, Michael Trujillo and Ray Jackson, played by Stephen James and Taylor Kitsch. They are attempting to steal about 30 kilograms, which is set, it's been given to them as a tip at a big wine restaurant. But when they go there, they find instead of 300 kilograms, there's actually instead of 30 kilograms is actually 300 kilograms, and that means it's it's way worth more than it actually is. Before they can make their way out of there with 50 kilograms, they decide to take a bunch of cops come over, and there's a big shootout, and they kill all the cops, and they escape and make their way to Manhattan to meet up with their buyer, who gives them $1 million, and they tell him to go and meet. He tells him to go and meet a person who can, get them fake IDs and leave the country. And now the cops are behind them, led by, of course, Andre Davis, and he is partnered in this by Sienna Miller's character Frankie Burns, who is a narcotics cop. Despite the fact that the feds want to get in, the deputy mayor and what's the character's name? Captain McKenna gets Andre and his partner about 5.5 hours, or up till 5:30 a.m. or something like that, to catch the criminals. So his plan basically is, and that's where you get the title of the movie, is to block all 21 bridges in and out of Manhattan, and basically put a bulletin out for these guys. They manage to track them to the forger's apartment, who is played by Alexander Siddiq, or Siddiq Al Fayed, who was Dr. Julian Bashir in Deep Space Nine. He's got a small role here, playing a Sudanese forger. Once there, the forger is shot by some cops who come to the apartment, and he manages to give 2 flash drives and the password of the corrupt cops who are behind a lot of the smuggling that's going on. So this leads Trujillo and Jackson to go try to make their way out of the city, but Jackson is killed by Andre while trying to escape, and they then go behind James. James manages to catch Frankie Burns at a meat warehouse, and he tells him there's something even more than that's going on behind the background. He manages to escape from there and goes to the subway where there's a confrontation between Andre and Trujillo. Um, Frankie Burns comes behind them and shoots Trujillo dead, even though he was unarmed at the time. He was planning to give himself up. However, he passes on the two flash drives and the password to Andre. Andre goes, finds out that the corrupt cops, including McKenna, is behind all this narcotics that's happening in the city, and he confronts him and tells him that the main reason behind this is actually not exactly just money, but because over the years he found that a lot of the cops were not able to make money survive. They had very high rates of divorce. They were not able to find places to live. Their families were struggling financially, and they are giving their lives for basically putting their lives on the line on a regular basis for the city, and the city tends to hate cops and all those things. However, there is a shootout. Andre managed to kill all the corrupt cops, with the exception of he manages to talk down Frankie Burns because she's got a young daughter, and if she gives herself up, she can at least see her someday down the line and not have to live without the kid will not have to grow up with the mother. So saying that she gives up her gun and she is arrested and taken into custody. That's where the movie ends. So this is a pretty good movie. I know it didn't do really well at the box office. This is pre-COVID, of course. So on a budget of $33 million, the movie made just a tad under $50 million. But I believe this is a really good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is not a lengthy movie. It's about an hour and it's about an hour and a half, roughly. Slightly more than an hour and a half, around 100 minutes. Really good acting by everyone. Chadwick Boseman, Sienna Miller, Taylor Kitsch, J.K. Simmons. I mean, J.K. Simmons is in. It's not possible for the man to have a bad role. Sorry, I was looking for some water. And I always didn't like the fact that he was a bad guy in this movie, but yeah, I do like the guy quite a lot. He's one of the best character actors ever. Of course, we will miss Chadwick Boseman. Like I mentioned, I haven't watched too many of his movies other than his roles as Black Panther in the Marvel movies, and I do want to watch more of his, as well as Taylor Kitsch. I mean, this is a guy who they did make a pitch for becoming one of the big actors. Unfortunately, the big budget movies that he was in did not make much money, and he kind of went a little bit down, but he's since picked himself up. Stephen James is a surprise for me. I don't remember having seen him in anything else, as well as Sienna Miller as well. This name is very familiar to me, but I don't really remember seeing her in too much stuff. But yeah, overall, everybody is amazing in this film. I would give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. It's really, really good. Not too much cursing for a cop movie, but yeah, there is some cursing, of course, shootouts and all that stuff. Did I say 8.5? Sorry, I meant 7.5. Yeah, 7.5 out of 10, not bad. It's a pretty good movie, decent film. Yeah, I will try and watch a few more Chadwick Boseman movies, eventually. Somewhere down the line. I know there's a couple of movies of his that I really want to watch. One of him has that Justice, the first Black American Justice, and the one where he basically plays James Brown. So yeah, good movie. 21 Bridges, 7.5 out of 10. Thank you very much, guys. Shall see you again in another review coming up pretty soon.